Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Gemini. And of course, always a big welcome to those zodiac signs that felt like this combination or this constellation, which exists only once a year, has an inspiration for them as well. I do the reading exactly on the day the moon is in your sign, my dear Gemini. That means I see the constellation Gemini behind the moon when I look at it, and I see the constellation Capricorn when I look at the sun, which is giving you the light right now in the waxing moon. And so you can see here it's the same story. Here there is freedom, liberation, there is the conscious looking into the subconscious and then up into the higher conscious, and there's that divine trinity. Yeah? And here we can see the same divinity has shifted into an attachment, into a process that we're all attached to. And that's what actually this card is saying. Capricorn, who is the keeper of the taboos, is actually saying, yes, now this is the darkest month. This is where on the 24th Jesus is born. The sun is rising again after the 21st, where the shift was. And for 3 days the sun didn't come up, right, for the northern hemisphere, because in the south the people don't really speak about Christmas time or around the equator. And so we really have to understand that there are stories to be told that are only happening at a certain place on this planet. And it has to do that the planet is shifting and tilting and changing, and that the seasons are attaching us to a rhythm. To here is where we have to create the babies, right? And the church, of course, create out of Capricorn then the devil and this terrible beast that is holding us. But he's the keeper of the taboos. He's the one that is actually giving us a choice, because the shackle or the attachment is not real. It's something that we follow because it's part of our DNA. So here, this is Capricorn, the 10th house of social status. That social status, we climb up and see in the third eye the possibilities of becoming more important in our society. And then here, this is the third house of communication. And of course, you are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is in retrograde until the 18th of January right now. So maybe you feel it. Maybe you feel a little that something is not really the way it's supposed to be. You feel like you're stalling in your projects, right? And so just remember that whatever is happening up in the sky is also happening here down in us, in our mind and in our bodies. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the teacher, Saturn is the father, and so just that you understand the energies that are working on each other, right? The extroverted, the sun, and the introverted, the moon. The yoga position for Capricorn is dancer pose, Natarajasana, right? I wanted him to really be like not a beast anymore. He's God Pan. He's the one that makes us dance and have fun. And it's important that we acknowledge that as well. And then for you, I gave you King Pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kaput Asana. It's a very long name in Sanskrit. And your body part are the arms and the hands that reaching back into the subconscious. And in that we recognize our own divinity. We recognize here this own guardian angel within us. So that's to the influence right now, sun and moon. Your court card is the Knight of Swords, and he is, as you can see, going into the left spinning cycle. I want you to know that I do left and right spinning readings, and the left spinning you got last time when you had the Gemini full moon and Sagittarius sun, which is opposite of you, was giving you the light. And there you get all 22 major arcanas lying here, and I read them from right to left. And that is because the earth does this wobble, and that wobble is like lasting 25,800 years. We divide that through the 12 zodiac signs, and then we get an age of 2,150 years. And currently we are in the age of Pisces, moving into the age of Aquarius, because it's left spinning, right? And so that's where I attach the soul path, that is from within to the out. That's the left spinning energy. The soul wants to come out and experience this life. And you are going into the left spinning energy very clearly with your mind. You want to achieve that. If your birthday is between the May 10th and June 9th, this is your court card. Sometimes the major arcana is different to the court card, so please look in the description below. I have listed all of them down there. Today you're getting a right spinning reading of 13 cards, major arcanas, and that is because the right spinning path is the path from outside to the within, and the right spinning path is how the earth is spinning around the sun in 365 days. And there we have 12 zodiac signs, and we have the sun, which is the number 13. And so the number 13 is not an unlucky number. The number 13 is actually a holy number, is an important number, and so this is where you're getting the reading today. Back to the last reading where you had your full moon and you had your soul reading. The message was your soul path is giving you the strength to be you. All right, so let's see what Capricorn is this time letting you know, because the influence of Capricorn to the moon that is in your sign is strong, because we're going to a full moon in Cancer, which is then, of course, opposite of Capricorn. Capricorn is giving Cancer full moon, which is now on the 6th and 7th of January. It's power, right? It's light. And so you have almost like a full moon right now, so you have a lot of light. So let's have a look what is speaking here to you. So on the position of the Fool, which is a state of consciousness within you, that is this idea, this feeling, this thought, this soul push, right, is the Two of Pentacles here in the Visconti Sforza Tarot, one of the oldest tarot cards that they have found. And this is Jupiter in Capricorn. So Capricorn is immediately giving you a sign. Yes, the dualities that are attached to the four. Four is always the physical plane, right? The dualities are attached, and here you are recognizing that the dualities are playing the infinite loop of inhale, exhale, male and female, and you are recognizing this feeling. You're recognizing that everything has its cycle, its moment, its inhale and its exhale. So you are feeling this very clearly, and it's your soul letting you know that here Jupiter in Capricorn, Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system, which is the wheel of fortune, is that everything is spinning, everything is rotating, everything is coming and going, inhale and exhale, right and left, up and down. And you are understanding that very clearly. Then on the position of the Magician, which is also a state of consciousness that acts upon the Fool's idea, this foolish idea. Sometimes they say, oh, what a crazy idea you have, right? I mean, and then the reason comes in and says, no, you cannot do that, right? And so here you feel, as the Magician, the arrow from Alberto Villoldo's Oracle deck, and it's the number 3. And the number 3 would be now here the Two of Coins plus the arrow, 3 elements here that are working on you. And the 3 is the way out of the duality, is that next generation. And the 3 with the arrow is pointing up. It's almost like it's pointing up at the magician, and it's saying, get strong, get powerful, know that you are the magic personality, that you create the magic, that you create everything in your life, and that you don't need no one. You just need to know that the information is out there. You just have to understand that you can use it. And you see the infinite 8 above the magician, and so the arrow is literally pointing at him and saying, you gotta understand this state of consciousness very clearly, that you create here with all 4 elements on the table and the dualities, 1 up, 1 down, this infinite creational magical life of yours. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes the Hermetic Tarot. And here we can see that the High Priestess is the intuition speaking to you, that there's a clarity now coming to you. There is a mental clarity coming to you, where you are coming into the 1 and the 0. The 1, which is here, this 1 error, this 1 clear thinking, and the 0 again, that you have understood what the Fool wanted to tell you. You have understood that there is only one energy, the center of our solar system, and that's the sun. And then here again are 2 ladies dancing, and it's that joyous dance between the dualities, which is also here the loop of the infinite 8, letting you know that everything is in harmonious exchange, always, constantly. Even though you want to hold on to certain things, you cannot. It's just not in the nature to hold on. If you get something, you immediately need to give it back, not maybe to the same person that you got it from, but to someone else that is close to you. So you gotta learn that when you give, you also will have, and when you have to give. Right? So it has to be in a harmonious exchange, and you are understanding that, because that's what the High Priestess does. She's between the black and the white. She sits really clearly here in between these 2 pillars, and she's like, okay, this is a dance, and that clarity is now coming to me. And it's the Lord of the fire of the world, the sun, the number 19, the 1, right, where the 1 arrow, and the 9, which is the inner clarity that I have understood through the Hermit. On the position of the Empress still a state of consciousness and no zodiac sign assigned to it, comes the High Priestess, which is looking here at the sun almost like it's a firework, right? If I put it a little higher, it's like, yes, this is a firework, right? This is something that I can dance to, because I have understood the 2 pillars. I have understood the black and the white sphinx. I have understood even the Taoism, right, the yin and the yang that are working on each other. But I have the key in the hand, and I sit in the corner, and I have the crossing in front of my chest, in front of my solar plexus, or even in front of my heart. And I have understood the 1, 2, 3 steps. She is this empowered lady, and she looks into the left spinning path. She's like, yes, I understand clearly that I am now understanding intuition. I'm abundance. I am giving birth to more intuition, and I am listening to myself. And you almost like are really getting here a very powerful soul message. And then I put you here, right, going into the right spinning path, into the human path, into that path that feeds the soul as well, because everything that we experience out here in the world is giving the soul the experience, so that it wants to come back to experience it again or differently, and wants to work on itself, right? And so he is literally coming at her, and you can see how he's holding the sword upright and the arrow that is going upright, saying that your intuition is clearly reaching up into the heavens, reaching up, and you literally want to get to her and tell her that. It's almost like you want to the world know that you are this magnificent, incredible being that has understood something, and now you want to share it with the world. And at the same time, you are, from a soul perspective, really understanding that this is something that your soul wants. And then on your position, the position of Gemini, comes the Knight of Swords. You, right? So you here have, through the number 6, understood something, and the 6 is the self-love, and so here you are recognizing that, okay, this is a soul energy. It's almost like an urge that's coming at you. It's an urge to listen to your intuitions, and then it's almost like you are now in the modern time. I'm just gonna put her down for a moment. In the modern time, you're gonna like now go towards your motorcycle, and you're like going deeper within. It's almost like it's heading at us, right? And it's not right or left spinning. It's actually inwards. It's going inwards. It's going right, or actually it's going away. It's like this outward, right? So this left spinning path now is actually an energy that going actually inwards, is coming at us, right? And it wants to tell us, yes, this is now the path from the outside within, or the inside without. It's again, that's the dance. It doesn't matter, right? The dance is that if I go left spinning, or I go right spinning, or if I go inwards, or if I go outwards, that's the play of, or the game of life. Then on the position of the Wheel of Fortune comes here this lovely lady, the number 7, pure nature. And so this is Jupiter, right, on the position of the Wheel of Fortune. And you understand that you have the opportunity now to really show yourself. You have the opportunity to really be this beautiful flower, show this knowledge that you have understood, because you have a 2-2 portal. 2-2, right? 2 times 2 is having the creativity and, of course, the sexuality to really show yourself, to really open yourself. Something has really given you now the power to feel that, right? To feel this dance, to feel this central energy within you. And here you are in the 7, in your natural habitat, in your crown chakra, in that which you have looked for. Yeah, you have gone towards the deep within, or the deep without, right? And so here you are able to show yourself, and it's almost like she's speaking into a microphone, and you are now speaking about this. You are now sharing this knowledge with the people that are close to you. Then, on the position of the Hanged Man comes this rose quartz. And the rose quartz is, through the Hanged Man, the feeling of, I am now feeling an enlightenment. I feel like this rose quartz is coming at me the same way this arrow is up pointing upwards, right? It's like up. It's almost a little bit of a phallic energy, because that's what the air energy is. It's a masculine energy, so it's very phallic. And the magic of the crystals through the rose quartz, the number 46, which makes a 10 and connects you back to the sun, which is a 10 as well, is self-love, self-worth, enough, and to be worth of whatever it is that you think you're worth. And it's literally saying, now you should focus on one of the most wonderful creatures that this universe has created, which is you. And I think this is why you are standing here and you're getting that impulse to give your soul the acknowledgement. You give your soul that, yes, I am done the work, I am going deep within, I am following this bird, I am having this I don't know what it's called in English. I can shoot the arrow up, right? Bow and arrow, right? I have the bow to shoot the arrow up, and I have the bird that is here with me. And you are ready, because you have realized your self-worth. You have realized that you are special, and that's why you are able to speak about it, even sing about it, and share this with the people. On the position of Capricorn, which is now in the sun, is coming the Temperance, and Temperance is Sagittarius, and that's coming back to Sagittarius Sun, which gave you the light to your Gemini full moon. And so the Sagittarius is that guardian angel that's bringing here the energies, the exchange that happens here between these two. And the exchange between these two, right, the love, that constant back and forth, creates then the number 3. And that's why the 3 is so beautiful here, with this one arrow in the end. The 2 create the 3, which is up here. And here you understand that, right? Because that came on your position. You understand yourself. That's why also this is coming up. And now Sagittarius is speaking to you and letting you know that even Capricorn here, this is a special union in its own way, because if we have these attachments, we can free ourselves from it by constantly coming into the exchange, by constantly giving back and forth, giving and taking, giving and taking, and through that learning the lessons, right? And that's why actually in the last moon your soul path is giving you the strength to be you, the strength through Sagittarius that is saying, okay, I show you how it's done. Give yourself constantly inhale and exhale, and understand that that's what brings you into your center, like the high priestess, right? That brings you constantly into that which is really important. And that's why the sun is that clarity, the sun that is now giving you the light, which is in Capricorn, which is then a certain attachment that we can liberate ourselves out. It's those difficulties that make us who we truly are. It's not that everything goes well and we have all we ever dreamt of, and then what, right? And then we need to continue to evolve. And then here on the position of the Tower comes the gazelle, right? And the gazelle is literally looking at you and saying, okay, now what are you going to do with this? And the Tower is the awakening of, is the shake up of old structures, right? Structures that just don't work anymore, that don't function anymore. And the gazelle is literally looking at you. It's really interesting. It's almost like here we had him going deep within, and then you have recognized yourself, and now you're going and looking out again, right? And this looking out, it's the fire aspect here. of the gazelle. It's the element fire, is saying heightened awareness and ability, vulnerable, graceful, perceptive, artistic. The gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, and this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. So this gracefulness is here as well, right? That you have opened yourself now to such an extent that you're like, okay, here I am. I show myself. I can give and I can take. And here you have this gracefulness about arriving, even though things have crumbled around you, things are being shaken, and you come out even more magnificent. But be careful that you are not too much protecting something that doesn't need protection, which is that self-love, that self-worth of self, right? And so here we can see that this is speaking to you directly as an energy. Bring yourself into that heightened awareness, but don't let it take over you. Now the last 4 cards here, this is now the state of consciousness of the moon, which is in your sign, and the lost in space comes up, right? And this is Pisces, the moon, coming out or having the desire to come out of the subconscious. And the subconscious is here, her who is looking up to the higher conscious. The subconscious is the one that wants to get up into the higher consciousness. And so she looks up, and it's this moon reflection here, the moon and the earth, and the lost, the needing direction is given through Pisces, is up, is the arrow. Remember that all you need is up, going up into the heavens, because when we're in the dark, right, we place the seed in the dark, where is it growing? It doesn't grow down, it grows up. And so the direction that you're getting is also the horns that grow up. And so you're getting here like a little bit of the duality game, right, between the 2 horns. Here the Capricorn has his horns growing down. Nevertheless, you are awakening. You are seeing that you're not that lost, but you're lost and you're looking for guidance. And it's the moon that helps you to come out, the desire to come out. And then, of course, on the position of the sun, to jump into the world, to give the world this information that you have found deep within you. So this is on the position of the sun, and on the position of the sun is Capricorn. And Capricorn is really the career. It's the social status that we're looking for. And so you're taking that leap of faith. You're taking that leap of faith on planet Earth. It's like somehow you felt a little lost because there is a lot of influence on you, a lot of spiritual messages coming at you to recognize that you are now being pushed by Capricorn to go a little further up, to climb, right? That's where the Mars tower is breaking apart. Old structures break apart so that you can place yourself new in these structures and take that leap of faith forward. Because then on the position of the judgment, the last judgment or the wake-up call, comes here this interesting card, right? And it's like this green person. It's very interesting. This green colored woman with the sun. It's almost like here we see the sun now around as a halo, which you found as a self-worth through the Hanged Man, because he has also the halo around his head. And you can also see how the moon is guiding her over her head to understand the times that the moon does. And that's why I'm doing the reading exactly on the moon. That is in your sign, so I get the information. And here's the pitch. And the pitch is saying, be as clear, concise, and professional as you can be when you explain your ideas to potential associates. Wow. The number 5, which is then this understanding of 5-5. 2 times 5 is the creativity in understanding the empowerment of the 5 senses and really knowing that you have the power. Then, of course, here is a 42, which is then a 6, right? The 6 speaks to you, and there is a 6 in here as well. So now I'm going into the numbers. Here's a 6 too. So you have a 6, 6, 6, portal, 3 times 6 is the power to know that your third eye is the higher consciousness, like the third eye here is pointing at the third eye, that even you're climbing and you're jumping and you're taking that pitch forward, it is important that you know how to give that pitch to the people that want to help you, to grow. And where you're jumping into on the position of the earth, here is Moon in Libra. Again, the number 2 is speaking here to you. And so the 2-2, 2-2-2, 3 times 2, power in creativity, power also in sexuality, power in knowing that this dance also is now in your mind. And you have 1 arrow here, and you have 2 swords here, or 2 voices here. That makes 3. And the 3 is the way out. The 3 is the 1 again, is the new 1. And so you're learning this dance. You're learning the dance of the material and the mental game on planet Earth. The material is feminine and the mental is masculine. And this game is happening here on planet Earth. This game is constantly being played. And so you are gotta look deep within to find always the one, which is within you, the one, right? And know that if you show yourself, if you open yourself, the 7, the crown, it's almost like the crown that has come down on the position of the tower is now wanting you to say, really find between these 2 horns the triangle that's pointing upwards, right? The triangle, always this triangle, always the arrow, the 3 going upwards, learning, even helping you here to find yourself with the 3 here and the 6. Even though you think you're lost, you have a way out. You know how to get out. And the way out is the pitch, to be as clear, concise, and professional as you can be when you explain your ideas to potential associates. And then the game begins. Okay, so the game is always the game of duality. Let's do it like this. All right, the game of duality is here in the financial, but she knows how to put herself into the center of the game of the earth and of the air and of the money and of the thoughts. And she's helping you to say, okay, these 3 cards are going to be in front of the cover and helping you to understand what's happening through Capricorn right now that is highlighting you to understand that the play of duality is always there. It's what makes this life so interesting for the soul, because the soul, when it is in its pure state of consciousness, is always loving and it's always caring. It's always there, right? It's that one arrow. It's that one energy. Is that one sun in the center of our solar system. Wow. What a beautiful reading, right? So you're understanding what you have to do. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the earth turns in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation Aquarius. And Aquarius is then the age of Aquarius. So until then, I thank you so much for being with me. And I wish you a happy new year, 23. Namaste.